Welcome, my dear students of class 10A and 10B in my civics class. The points, as I mentioned in the board, about the relation Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, I am going to explain it. Already you have come to know about different functions of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. I have already explained about the role of the Prime Minister as a link between the Cabinet and the President. I have also discussed the powers and functions of the Prime Minister, and few points are left. These are the last points of this lesson. Then the teaching of this lesson will be completed, and your syllabus for the council exam also will be completed as per the further revised syllabus of the council. Now, the points as I mentioned and mentioned in the book, as per further revised syllabus, I taught this lesson, because other points which are mentioned in your book, these are of no use to us. That's why I did not teach other points which are not a part of the further revised syllabus of the council. So these are the points which is mentioned in the check on the authority of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, although the Prime Minister is the leader of the majority party, one thing he has to get it confirmed. What is this? The support of his ministers and the support of his party. Because Prime Minister cannot work without the support of his ministers. Prime Minister can't work without the support of his party, of his own party. Another point that is also very important as per the system of the Constitution of India. The Prime Minister, while controlling the entire procedure of the debate and discussions in the House of Parliament, he always protects other ministers when they are in attack by the MPs and other political parties or opposition parties. Besides, the opposition parties leave no stone unturned to attack the Prime Minister and to criticize the Prime Minister in case of any chance is left by the Prime Minister for them. In that case, the whole situation has to be controlled by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has to have a number of informations with him, so that he must provide necessary informations regarding the questions raised by the ministers, raised by different member of parliament, different opposition parties leaders, different political parties members, so that the house can run smoothly, and in front of the speaker the Prime Minister is able to establish his reputation. His and his party's reputation is established in front of the speaker, his and his party's reputation. Besides, in case of another point, the principle of coalition responsibility, the principle of collective responsibility. Each and every minister of a ministry are collectively responsible to the other ministers. That means, I would like to make it clearer to you. Suppose one decision is taken by the cabinet, but the decision which is taken by the cabinet has to be revealed to other ministers, since a ministry is supposed to be a ministry of the government, and each and every person has to work collectively, because they are answerable to the parliament. The parliament can ask any question to each minister of that ministry. In that case, each and every ministers are collectively responsible to protect the image of the government, and collectively responsible while being attacked by the MPs on the floor of the House of Parliament before the Speaker. Besides, individual responsibility is another important thing. Individual responsibility, a responsibility act of the press and public. Now this is the another point, these are the another point. Individual responsibility. The Council of Ministers has individual responsibilities to the House of Parliament. The Council of Ministers has to shoulder individual responsibilities for his ministry, for his department. That means how he is administering his department and what policy he has adopted for the conveniences of the people and the country. The respective minister has to give the answer if any question is raised by any member of parliament. If he fails, if the minister fails to answer the question in front of the speaker, the image of that very government would be automatically carved. The image and the prestige can be harmed only because of his inefficiency. That's why each and every minister has to be careful while facing any question or while giving the answers of this question. That's why each and every minister has to shoulder his individual responsibility for his own department. Another thing, act of the press and public opinion. The public opinion and act of the press and the public opinion. Although Prime Minister is the head of the country, he is the chief spokesman in the House of Parliament for his own government. Although the Prime Minister is the protector of his government, yet the press can take its advantages by attacking the activities of the Prime Minister, attacking the works of the Prime Minister. Whenever they get any chance to attack him, they can attack, they can criticize the policies of the Prime Minister. If the policies go against the interest of the people, if the policies go against the interest of the country, in that case, the Prime Minister can be criticized by the press. And a public opinion automatically is formed by the criticism of the people. That's why the Prime Minister always tries to put an image of the government by framing good policies for the all-round development of the country, so that people must be benefited with the policies of the government, and Prime Minister is able to establish his own image as a good Prime Minister. As a Prime Minister, the people of the country would call him forever. His image must not be disappeared from the minds of the people of the country. That's why Prime Minister always tries to frame good policies. Prime Minister always tries to provide lots of facilities to the people of the country during his 5 years of tenure. Next one, point number 5, coalition government, its disadvantages. Suppose one party did not get majority. One party did not get 2/3 majority, but the party has a chance to get support from other political parties and can form a government, coalition government in the country. In that case, other political parties, in the interest of themselves, they can come forward in order to support that party who has failed to have coalition, failed to have 2/3 majority, but less of a few votes. The party has failed to get two-third majority. In that case, the party can take support from other political parties and can form a coalition government, and other political parties, a number of political parties can come forward for the support of that very government which is going to be a part of the government. In that case, the government which is formed in the center, this government is known as coalition government. This coalition government cannot take any advantage, because the person who generally becomes the prime minister of that coalition government cannot enjoy a lot, can't have any possibility to frame any type of policies independently without being consented by that other parties by which he was supported before forming the government. That means a number of parties under whose support the prime minister has formed a government, or a political party has formed a government, and a person has become the prime minister of that very party. In that case, the prime minister cannot take any advantage of it. The prime minister does not enjoy enormous powers and has to depend on other parties on whose support he was able to form a coalition government. In that case, the prime minister cannot work independently, and other political parties always try to attack the prime minister and his ministry. Suppose one minister is asked to show his confidence, whether he has confidence in the house. That means a proposal of no confidence motion is brought against one minister. In that case, that minister has to prove whether he has support in the house, and if he failed to gain support, that he has majority support in the house, in that case the whole ministry has to resign. That means, and it is due to that reason, all ministers are supposed to shoulder collective responsibilities in protecting, in defending the government from the attack of other political parties, so that the government must complete its normal tenure of 5 years and must get themselves fully prepared for the next upcoming election, so that they can get two-third majority in the upcoming election and can form an independent government and can avoid coalition government, because coalition government is not good for the country. The coalition government and their ministers, including prime minister, cannot work independently, and in that case the process of development, the process of progress throughout the country can be interrupted in various ways. So in order to avoid this kind of inconveniences of the people, inconveniences of the country, the prime minister always, during a prime minister of a coalition government, always by way of managing other political parties, always tries to establish a good image of him or of his own party, so that that very party must come back in power with two-third majority in the next election and can complete 5 years of tenure. It is due to that reason the role of the prime minister in the house, the role of the prime minister in the country is very important. So a person who is very intelligent, having sense of having presence of mind, can become a good prime minister in the country, and can communicate a new message, can communicate good message to the people of the country, and can coordinate policies of the departments of various coordinate the policies of various departments, and can get support of all the ministers as well as his party, and can set up a good image as a good prime minister of the country. Up to this, my dear students, thank you.